I recently remembered something interesting. When I was a kid, one of the best parts of my day was going to school and smashing kids in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. But after that, it was getting home, heating up my Heinz spaghetti, and kicking back to watch some after-school cartoons. Angela Anaconda, Daria, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, Albert the Fifth Musketeer, and many others put me in a total state of euphoria for the rest of the day. I know it's like the millennial catchphrase at this point, but how am I not meant to think that we had the best kids shows when we had Lil Elvis Jones? With that said, there was one show that took a bit of a different direction. Today, allow me to transport you back in time. A time of dinosaurs and Kanye chic. Allow me to present for your viewing pleasure, Gogs. Gogs is a claymation animated style show about a bumbling family of cave dwellers who get into all kinds of wacky and disturbing antics. There was Ogla, the irritable matriarch who does her best to keep the family from getting too out of hand, Gogless, the grumpy, lazy dad of the clan, Goggus, the perpetually disgruntled and perpetually naked grandfather who always keeps his trusty club in hand, in case he wants to threaten and carry out actual violence against the others. Oggo is the son and the dumbest of the lot. Basically the Chris Griffin of the family. Iggy is the androgynous daughter who is always inventing things well outside of their time, probably the only one you could call smart. And then there was Gwudge? Jesus, I don't know. The baby, and in my personal opinion, the most terrifying. Gogs was produced by Animation. No, seriously. And aired for quite a number of years despite only having 13 5-minute episodes. They eventually wrapped up with a half-hour special, but we'll get to that. This is actually a Welsh show, but because there is literally no dialogue, the entertainment value is in the slapstick humour. Much like Mr. Bean, it can be enjoyed anywhere. Now at this point you're probably wondering what the actual problem is. And let me be clear, I don't think this show is necessarily inappropriate for kids or bad for kids, but it was a bit odd, so consider that your warning. See, Gogs has a very particular style of animation that has won the show multiple prestigious awards, and I want you to keep those awards in mind going forward. The claymation lends greatly exaggerated expression to the characters, which in itself is fine and dandy. I mean, it's claymation. But when you pair that with the character designs, it makes for some unusual entertainment. See, being that this is prehistoric times, the clan are designed to look a bit more Neanderthal, so every time they scream or even just laugh, it just looks creepy, dude. So creepy. That's not why I'm making this video though. The reason Gogs has a special spot in my brain burned out for all time is due to the uncomfortably long, gross out gags. You know what, why don't you just watch for yourself? Gross out humor is rare in kids shows outside of a simple fart sound effect, so seeing a literally 2-minute long gag about everyone being covered in and willingly rubbing around Oggo's snot is a strange thing to look back on. I mean, I don't remember this stuff bothering me as a kid. Is that a problem? I'm not sure if it's just me, but claymation has a way of making bodily fluids and excrement look so much more wrong? Maybe it's credit to the animation team, and maybe that's why they won awards, but every time I see the boogers or the poop, I feel like I can feel it. A large part of the slapstick humour is the family constantly beating the shit out of each other, which I mean is probably a bit questionable in retrospect, but we were cool with Homer strangling Bart all the time, I guess. At least they never hurt the baby. Okay, well that's just, never mind. Don't get me wrong though, despite all that, I'm not saying this is a bad show. In fact, I think it can be pretty hilarious. There's an episode where Oggo and Goggles go hunting and end up being beat up by a raptor who is using... it's using kung fu. It's also pretty funny to see a naked grandpa literally challenging a storm to square up. The storylines are also pretty creative considering they're done in 5-minute segments. For example, in the very first episode, the family discovers feathers. Dad and Grandpa use them to make arrows so that they can better hunt birds for food, and the daughter Iggy uses the feathers to invent wings. This all culminates in Dad and Grandpa accidentally shooting her with an arrow. For a 5-minute slot, they manage to do a setup, a goal-oriented plot, and a payoff, all the while making sure that they hit the quota on disturbing amounts of nose spunk. That's pretty impressive. The half-hour finale is also a really bittersweet and somehow appropriate send-off for the clan. There's one episode where the kids are protecting the cave and the adults are off getting absolutely hammered. And I think it's just hilarious how much it looks like how getting wasted actually feels. Would you like some more highlights from the show? Of course you would. For better or worse, Gogs seems to be permanently burned into my brain. When I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to be haunted by the godforsaken wails of that cursed family. And now maybe you will be too. You're welcome. It might be a bit of a hard sell after all of that, but subscribe for more videos that are sure to make you go, yeah, that's pretty good.